Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I remember the last time I did a video, it was on the structure of all necessity. Now I remember I said the structure of all necessity is God, or this revelation I received is God. The structure of all necessity is all there is. And I want to make a continuation of that. So just a quick rewind. So this dream came to me, and in it I was walking toward the house, right? And I remember opening the door to the house, and behind the door was a woman, and she said to me, God, the structure of all necessity is all there is. And after that I woke up. Now what does that mean? God, the structure of all necessity is all there is. When we think of the word God, I think it's been spoken ad nauseum. We kind of lost meaning of what God really is. Now, in plain words, when we say God, we're talking about creator, we're talking about the source of all things, the very beginning or the quintessence of all nature and all reality. All right. Now, to an understanding mind, that simply means consciousness, right? Because all that is consciousness. What does that mean? That means all there is awareness, and an awareness of all there is all that exists, actually. So it is actually God becoming aware of himself, or of that reality itself, right? Becoming aware of itself. Now, mind is a very focal point of this understanding. It is the very center, the epicenter of this profundity. Why do I say so? Because mind is the very root of awareness in us human beings, right? And mind is awareness itself. Now, when you understand that my mind is aware of everything that is, you understand that the grand scale of it, that the mind being awareness itself of all that is, you get to realize that, wait, if there is a God, then God must have a mind, right? God must have a mind, and that mind is infinite. And understanding that the infinite nature of that mind is that it is the very beginning, the very source, and the very nature, or the very reality of what we term as reality. And in that realization, and I don't want you to lose me here, because I'm using some really complicated, yeah, I don't want you to lose me here because I'm using some really many repetitions, but the very basis of it is this: awareness is the epicenter of our reality. Awareness is the very beginning of reality, and from there everything springs forth. Now, God is aware, all right? God is aware, and He is awareness itself, and from that everything extends, and from that everything is right. Should I say, built from, right? Now, when you understand that the structure of all necessity, yeah, sorry about that. There was a helicopter passing through. I had to pause it. Yeah. So when you understand that the structure of all necessity, my greatest question, or my question to you is, what do you understand as reality, or what is necessitous for you as reality, for what you understand as reality? What is it that has to exist for you to understand this reality, right? That is God. Whatever it is you think is necessitous for your explanation of reality, that is God. And the beauty of this is, we say God is infinite, we say God is limitless. We could come up with so many things that we think are the very basis of our reality, because they're very essential to our lives. Essential. First, we could say, well, I need to eat, I need to breathe, the air I breathe. But all these things will probably stem from something, right? They'll probably come from something. And so that something becomes more important than the very thing. For example, I would say, well, I need to eat. Okay, what's important is that I need to make sure there is food, right? So for that food to be available, there has to be agriculture available, there has to be seeds for the planting of food and whatever is necessary for that food to be available. So all this begins to kind of there's just so many things coming out from this one very profound explanation of what God is. So God being the structure of all necessities, God being the very epicenter, being the very focal point of our reality itself. And when we understand that, we begin to see that the very big universe we live in is the very necessary factor of our existence. You see? And so the universe becomes necessitous for our existence. And it begins to even get smaller and smaller. The atom becomes necessitous for our existence. And so we have to understand this. And when we understand this, that everything that is really God. God is not somewhere out there. No, God is here. God is now. This very moment, this very video, is necessitous for your understanding of your Creator. You get in the point. So once we understand this, and once we understand that the mind is the beginning of all this that I'm talking about, we begin to understand the mind is very creative. All right, and this is where I really want to bring home, right? Mind is the beginning of all existence. Take away mind and nothing will exist. Take away mind, you won't be able to see this reality. You won't be able to understand this reality. You won't be able to perceive this reality. And so mind is the beginning of existence. And once you understand this, you understand that mind is God. I am is God. Because that I amness within you is the beginning of all things. When you begin to realize I am is the beginning of all things. And that I amness is the start and the end. It is the beginning, it is the end, and everything in between. And once we see that, once we realize that, we begin to understand our own creative nature as human beings. We begin to live from a place of I am instead of living from a place of impulse. Because when we live from impulse, we live from outside, we live from what this outside reality is telling us. But when we live from I am, we live from within here, we see that, okay, everything starts from here. And once I start everything from here, I realize that, okay, I can bring it forth. Whatever I visualize, whatever I imagine, I can bring it forth and bring it out from within myself. Now, God being the structure of all necessity, the structure has to begin from here. Whatever it is I want to bring out, I have to begin the structure from here. And then I bring it forth out.